Hello, third year. Good afternoon. So I called up this meeting because I would like to discuss some important matters. However, it seems like I have waited for more than 15 minutes and none of you has attempted to attend the meeting. So with this, I am going to discuss. I'm going to continue discussing about the things that you will need to do for the remaining weeks of our um, for this semester. Okay, so let's start off with the first agendum. So now, what you are going to do is, I mean, before I'll give you the instruction about what you should do and what should be done. So first is I would just like to update you or on your progress about the project milestones that we have set in M1 deliverables. So as together with M2 deliverables. So as you can see, there are comments and suggestions every uh, project or every group. So please comply whatever the comments and suggestions under a certain or specific deliverable, and then make sure it is updated and the one that you will be presenting in module 3 presentation will be the update of whatever I have recommended or suggested in M2, both M1 and M2 deliverables. Okay, so I will not make your life miserable, just so that everyone can cope up or every group can cope up and catch up our course for this I mean catch up this for this course. So with that, I am yes I am being considerate. So what you will be having for as deliverables of M3 will be only testing methodology and deployment plan. So I'll be explaining to you what is it like to have these deliverables in your document, and then we'll discuss later on about the presentation of all the modules. Okay, so ayan. So update so far, again, you can see it in M1, M2 deliverables, and with your M3, there are only two deliverables. And what are these? So number one, we are now down to testing, testing methodology or testing method in application development. So as we all know, it's very important for us to evaluate and our applications, not only by ourselves, but of course, we have to consider external factors, external entities, by having them check, evaluate our works. Okay, so that is why we'll have to do the last one of the last steps or phases in building or creating an application is doing a testing. Okay, so in testing, allow me to read. This is a process of evaluating our application, our system, with the intent to find whether the it satisfies the specified requirement or not. So basically, there are actually a lot of testings, or testing methodologies out there. So you can do an automation testing, or we can actually automate the testing, which is almost all framework has that. And then we can also have manual testing, no? So by the virtue of software quality assurance, we need to do this in order for us to identify the flaws, the errors, and the missing gaps of our application. So now, what are the activities that you will need to do for this M3 deliverables? So you will do unit testing. So I have attached there this sample spreadsheet on how you will do it, but I'll be explaining the things that you will need to fill in there. So we'll also do functional testing and other testing methods depending on your project, depending on your application. So again, why I do this, because it varies it on whatever project type you are actually dealing with. Kasi na ating ginatawag na transactional based projects. We also have a game application project. We also have uh, uh, a, an application, no? A normal application, so or a normal software, no, or mobile application. So what are the deliverables? So there are only three deliverables: unit testing and other testing methods you as a group have decided. So later on, I'm going to show you what it will look like, and then the implementation and deployment plan. So M1 assessment presentation, M3 rather, assessment preparation. So just comply all the deliverables as a group. So this is just a sample. So you can start something like what is testing, what is it in your application or in your project. So you do this as a researchers. You conduct this because you want to know the you want to evaluate the performance of your system. You want to correct the errors, the missing gaps, and all other things na that hinders the success of our application. No? So for towards its completion as well as its, of course, its performance. So here you can state whether you do white box testing and black box testing. So in white box testing, you have to also describe how do you do or how will you do testing using white box, which is this is normally you test the functionality of your application. So by giving series of multiple test cases. So you'll have to look at the business logic or your codes inside of your application. So you check the behavior, the business logic, the logical expressions of your codes, and then based on the inputs given by the user, so how it will respond. Okay, so you can look into your codes if you can look into your codes based on the inputs given by the application or the user, given by the application user or the end user. Now with the black box testing, you can also explain it here that at some level you do this, you utilize this because you want to perform, or you want to make your applications na uh, it should be a nearly perfect application. Okay, so to, of course, prevent the errors from coming in or from occurring anywhere in our program once it's live. Okay, so this black box testing, you don't have to look for the codes, and then you don't have to most likely you just have to do testings like performance testing, uh, integration testing, and unit testing. So usually it's based on the process flow of the program. Once I input this, what is the output, if ever, or if in case, what's the output if I'm going to input invalid characters for my password, or something like if a password, if I'm going to log in using the account, if they are not going to match what it will prompt, okay, in the application. So this is an example of unit testing. So right here, this is an example of manual testing, which is unit testing. So you have here um, an edit existing account. So under test case name, sorry. So you'll have here the description. Just tell here, just put here exist updating or editing existing account. Now, the project is online career portal for alumni. Okay, so this is test case number. So if this is test case number 2, because we have here test case number. You can have here this test case number 1 or 2, whatever. So let's start with this one. Okay, now in here, you will, this is just a template, so you don't have to fill in everything here, just like we have here the name of the tester, because again, the name of the testers will be put here if we have already the application and deployed the application. I mean, we have already the application and it can be tested. And then, of course, the date. So test type is unit testing. So if you guys, if you know the module owner, of course, it's one of you, if it's one of the groups or one of the members of the group. So you just put it here, okay? Whoever is working on this module. Now, as you can see in the first column of our unit testing, you have here the steps, 1, 2, so on and so forth. No, so we'll have here the action. So the action is the process you execute in editing account. So first is you click on new open. So the expected result is open index. So it will open the index page, something like that. So now, then you can have here check the pass or fail, and if it's not applicable, so then comment. Okay, so now under click new open, you have here account page settings, edit account. So the expected result once I visited account page settings will be user account login. And if I'm going to click on the edit account, I will be redirected to sign in. So both, again, you'll have to put here if it goes really there sa user account login or sign in, just put here pass, just put here fail or what. So if ever it fails, it means you just have to put the X. So whatever X's here, kung sang mga X dire, this would mean that these are the things you will need to correct. These are the mistakes found out in the system, and you will need to recalibrate it. You'll need to fix that error. Okay, so ayan. Now in the edit account form, you will after clicking the new open, you will be prompted with this one, account edit account form. So in the account form, I have all the fields are required. So if ever that let's say I just fill in some of the fields, and let's say I put here uh, no data or something like entry. Okay, so that would, I know as a programmer, now since I said that all fields must are required, so meaning to say there are certain fields that are not actually parang it defeats the purpose when you say all fields are required, like putting asterisk on all the fields, meaning these fields are required, and then upon testing it, you found out that you first name is uh, it proceeds to like to the next process, even if without this field having an entry. Okay, so and you do that for several times, so on and so forth. So for this, I just would like you to perform at least three modules, no? You don't have to do it like all of the modules in your system. Anyway, this is just a simple this is just a demonstration of how a manual testing is being operated. So again, just choose three modules or unit in your application, and just again kani sila mga, you don't have to put here like pass or fail, because again, as for now, I believe so that the application is still in the process of I mean, it's not yet being developed. Now we are just doing a practice uh, I mean, we are still in the process of planning the test cases. Okay, so you can also visit here. This is the sample or other generic na I mean the sample unit testing. So I have here, let's say, if I click the button, so expected result, it will save the record, something like that. So you can do this detailed unit testing in your application. Now, for for the for the other testing methods, this is focused and based on the application itself. You can have, let's say, if your application, so please bear with me, medyo ano akong boses, no, and I have experience medyo stuffy, runny nose, no. So now, I mean, let's back where we left off. If in case na this is in the capstone setup, since we don't really create uh, mga transactional based applications, so it's not that very really requires mga in-depth testing methodology. So you plan whatever is required in your research or in your application, whatever testing is possible. Okay, so like for an instance, if you are working on a mobile application and specifically Android, so let's say this will only run on Android application. So therefore, you are going to do or create a testing on that on different platforms by installing it to 5.0 API or version 6.0, 7.0, 8.0 or higher, and then you just put here pass, and then result installed successfully. If it's not, then therefore you just put here installation error or installation unsuccessful. Now another way to test is through RAM and CPU testing of your Android phone. So just explain something that you are going to conduct this test because you have to prove something that different different specifications of mobile phone or mobile device. If I'm going to install this application, what it will, how it is actually doing. Will it be installed or not? So installed and run successfully. So pwede rin na installed and medyo there's a bit of a lag. So depending on the versions, no, you will install it. So by the way, of course, this would have nothing like pass, and result because again, we don't have that yet anymore. So at least you plan that these are the things you are going to do in terms of testing your application. So you can also do device mobile testing aside from specifications of your RAM. You can also do mobile device testing like using installing it to different mobile brand. So we have your Huawei here, Oppo, and Huawei, another. So of course, we cannot install this to iOS because this is specifically for Android phones only. Now, for the accuracy testing, uh, this is for the most likely for the algorithm that you have used. So since this application or this research is actually using the uh, text to speech, I know it's the yeah it's the it uses the OCR to detect or recognize objects and then or image, and it will be translated into text. So with this you can have this kind of testing where the you can put here the number of words. So let's say first test now in the performance test is P1 180 words, or the paragraph is P 180 words. Then you have P2 478 words, and then P3 is 354 345 words, and so on and so forth. Now with each paragraph that you are feeding to your application with how about with the if it's captured by with flash, so meaning you took a picture with lighting or without lighting. So the level of accuracy will be something like this. So there are errors of like this and this one. So this can be done through automation testing, or you can actually uh, experiment by running multiple number of times, and among all the test runs, you'll just have to get the percentage of the accuracy uh, with the errors. And then you can have the camera resolution test, because this will capture some object. So you'll have here, there are a number of errors. We have 4. In order for you to calculate the uh, accuracy, you just have to get the percentage. So yeah, that is also we have distance in centimeters. How about if you're going to capture at this specific distance, so meaning it's far, I mean how far, how near, so how will the application response, so kung pila ang accuracy level, or naging will it have, will it declines its quality in terms of accuracy, the more distance, or the more distance it will have to the object being focused. Okay, so this is sample, this is a sample of unit testing, this based on the Excel sheet that I have provided, but you can do something like this. Okay, so you have the task, this expected output and actual result. Make sure that you have, of course, make sure that you have um, a what they call this one, um, back a copy of how this task is, so you can back up this task that this is really okay or not, this is really a successful or not, by having a by having that Excel sheet as your reference. So this is now something na imo na siyang i-summarize here, no? But yeah, if you do sign up by with by filling out all the fields, everything is okay. So you will have the actual result here, that everything is successfully installed, successfully running, or it's running okay. All right, so another one, a login. So you have here, when you click login, so actual result, expected output, so on and so forth. So that is how it will look like. You also have here alpha testing. So meaning to say, before you have already deployed the application and it's live now. So you can have someone to make ratings on your application. Okay, so that's me now conducting the alpha testing. I mean, as a tester. And then you can have also beta testing, and then this is the implementation and deployment plan. What do you plan in terms of how will you install it? What are the network configuration instruction and user training, if you have user training summary. Okay, so that is the conclusion for M3 deliverables. Now let's proceed to if you guys want to let's say want to look for a reference of how the testing are done in the capstone and thesis, you can have this reference under M3 deliverables. It's actually all there. So under reference folder, so you have book hook and MCM. This is from and this is from MCM, anti-cheat, under my advisory. So now, of course, it's very important on how you will be graded. We have already discussed this last time. So this is the presentation rubrics on how you will be graded. So you will be graded individually. That's 30%, 30%, and comes with decorum, mastery of the study. So all in all, 30% for individual rating. And then for the group rate, you have the system being developed or planned that is 40% with the efficiency, usability, dependability, and maintainability. And of course, the documentation, which is 30%, comes with completeness of the content, clarity of words, which are 20% and 10%. Uh, respectively, a total of 100%. So of course, of the based on the this one here, it's not full blown yet. So at least you have the prototypes being presented. So with that, I'll be the one to panel the your presentation. I will be the one to do the verdict whether you are accepted without revisions, accepted with minor, and accepted with major revisions, and if you will be doing a redefense. So that's it. And this is also seen there in the folder. Okay, so deliverables and template, zero deliverables and templates. You will see there IT 104, module overview and rubrics. Now, for the last agendum, I would like to invite everyone to attend to our research congress. So this will give you a grasp of what it will, uh, how you will really do or I mean, this will teach you a lot in terms of what are the things like what are the things you will see or what are the things that are I know how do I say this kumbaga it's like it will give you an idea of how thesis or capstone are being made. Thesis and capstone are being made. So uh, as a CS students, no, so you will what are expected ahead of you. So this is the first ever research congress because this senior of yours are the pioneering people. So, but they will be our pioneer graduates. So therefore, I'm inviting you to please attend with this research congress. And it's called as La Conversation. This will happen on April 23. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with the Zoom link of this one. So, ito yung program. So, I'll just post this one to our BB Ultra as this will serve as an invitation. So especially because you're third year, I am encouraging you to please do attend with this one. So if in case nag-attend mo, please just give me I'll be asking the evidence of your presence for me to at least encode no necessary as some points or whatever asan ako siya pwede mabutang in your uh, assessment or what. Okay? Sige, for future reference. So I'm not really directly saying that this will be graded, but I'm saying that I am going to this there will be a bearing of something like a score or an additional points upon or when you attend this La Conversation. So yeah, when would be our presentation? So when would be the presentation? The presentation would be on wait, murag nakalimot kong share. Hala. So, kay nakalimot kong share. Presentation would be next week. Okay? Sige. So, presentation natin would be next week. I'll be the one to do the draw lots if whose group will be presenting first. Okay? So, I guess that would be all. So, I just hope na you are guided with the remaining deliverables as well as with the presentation. So I'm afraid siguro baka you will not see the things that I have discussed because I guess I haven't I forgot to share my screen. But to give a review, this is what I have talked about. So first, starting off with the first deliverables, M1, progress, M2, and then M3 is you will now have two deliverables only. So ayan. So whatever comments and suggestions from M1 and M2 will be the things that I am expecting to see in your M3 presentation. So ito yung sinasabi ko na testing methodology. You have the deliverables, which are unit testing, testing methods, and implementation deployment plan. So there is a sample here. So please review on the sample that I have attached. So whenever, since I wasn't able to actually share this screen earlier, so uh, just look for the copy of this document. Okay. Now, yeah. So this is okay. This is the testing deliverable sample uh, document, and then for the test cases, this unit testing, this is also a sample document. So it's also attached in the same folder where you see your deliverables. Now, this is what I have told you about the research congress. So La Conversación and the rubrics are also uploaded and attached in the same folder together with all the others that I have actually explained earlier. So that would be it. And thank you guys for not attending for not attending the our session. I don't know what seems to be the problem. So I guess that's it, and have a great life ahead of you. Bye bye.